Hi, I'm Intuitively Deep, and I am back with a new astro video for newbies. So this is a video on the Mars and Cancer transit. Mars has gone into Cancer already, happened March 25th, and it's lasting all the way to May 20th. If you are just beginning in astrology, this video is for you. I'm just going to go over some things you might want to look for in regards to this transit according to your natal chart. Like I say for everyone, go ahead and use one of those astro calculators on some website. Put in your birthday, your birth time, and where you were born, and it pops up the housing system to tell you your rising sign, and that's what you want to look at. So let's just super quickly chat about Mars and Cancer. Mars spent a shit ton of time in Gemini, 7.5, 8 months, depending on who's calculating. And during that 7 to 8 month period, it's kind of chaotic. Lots of aggressive communication, back and forth, maybe miscommunication. It was just a lot for all of us. And I know most of us are excited that it is done. Fast forward to last week, March 25th, Mars entered Cancer. Cancer being the sign of the moon, it being the sign of the mother, nurturing, emotional, sensitive, caring, intuitive, is now hosting Mars, the planet of aggression and war. So I feel like it's easy to say there's going to be some emotional outbursts, some emotional chaotic, communication, or maybe some suppressed emotions coming out for all to see and share and hear. So let's just be mindful about how we deal with other people when it comes to our emotions, how we deal with ourselves when it comes to emotions. I can see this really being like a heightened state of emotions, especially if you felt wronged or you feel like you need to tell somebody you were wronged. So just be mindful of that. So like I said, Mars will be in Cancer from March 25th to March 20th. There's going to be a heightened sense of emotions, nurturing energy, some bold actions towards personal and domestic matters. I think this really encourages us to assert ourselves when it comes to how we've been feeling. So really asserting ourselves in the home, family, your personal identity, how you're expressing yourself out in the world, and what you need to become more balanced in regards to security and comfort. Aries, this is happening in your fourth house, the house of home, family, and where you end up in later in life. So Mars in Cancer may bring heightened emotions and sensitivity to your home life and your family relationships. You may feel called to nurture and protect the closest people to you, kids, parents, and maybe you might be thinking about kicking somebody out the house because you're just over it. It's not healthy for you, or you might be bringing some people in, making sure that you are safe, secure, and comfortable in your home. Just big conversations with family. Here is a reflection question for you. How can you balance your need for independence, Aries rising, and assertiveness with your desire for a nurturing and supportive home life? I hope this was helpful. Hi, Taurus risings. This is happening in your third house, the house of communication, dealing with the public speaking, your passions when it comes to communicating. So definitely writing a book, speaking your truth, maybe even taking a trip to gain some guidance on speaking your truth. Maybe you're linking up with a mentor or somebody that's helping you write something or blog something. So anyway, Mars in Cancer may bring emotional intensity and passion to your communication and your social interactions. You may feel called to speak your truth and advocate your values, which I think is amazing. And so here's a reflection question. How can you use your communication skills and social influence to advocate for causes and ideas that align with your values? So important to a Taurus rising or Taurus placement. So I hope this has been helpful. Hi, Gemini risings. I know you are extremely excited that Mars has moved out of your first house into your second. So let's keep that momentum of how you communicated who you're out in the world. It's moving into your second house, the house of your self-confidence, your values, your financial stability, your earned income. So Mars in Cancer is going to influence your financial situation and your self-worth. You may feel called to take action to increase your income and prioritize your financial security. And this is really coming from the last 7 to 8 months where you have maybe shifted your perspective of what you want out of a job, out of a career, out of partnerships and friendships, because it was sitting in your first house for such a long time. So let that momentum keep going as it rolls through your second house. Here's a reflection question for you. What financial goals or resources are you passionate about pursuing? How can you take bold action to achieve them? I hope this has been helpful. Hi, Cancer risings. This is now in your first house. Mars is now in your first house. Whoa, oh, whoa. So this Mars in Cancer transit is going to bring some fieriness to your normal wateriness. So the Mars in Cancer transit brings fiery energy to your personal identity and self-expression. So really making you want to va-va-voom who you are and how people see you. You may feel more confident and assertive in pursuing your goals and expressing your true self. So maybe this is a time that you are now really showing the authentic you very boldly and confidently. Here's a reflection question for you. What aspects of your personal identity and self-expression are you passionate about pursuing? And how can you start taking bold action to assert yourself? I hope this is helpful. Hi, Leo risings, my fellow Leo risings. We have Mars in Cancer transiting our 12th house, that house of dreams, the subconscious, the old patterns and behaviors that we are still trying to work our way through. So for us, the Mars in Cancer influences your inner world and your subconscious mind. You may feel called to confront and transform old patterns and emotional wounds, probably because Chiron is also in Aries right now, bringing up those old wounds. So yeah, use this energy to really try to transform old patterns and emotional wounds. Here's a reflection question for you. How can you confront and transform your old patterns and emotional wounds that might be holding you back from living your best life? How can you do that? Put something into action, okay? Hope this has been helpful. Hi, Virgo risings. This Mars in Cancer transit is going through your 11th house, that house of hopes and dreams and wishes and community, friendships, community. And so the Mars in Cancer transit might bring passionate energy to your social life and your community. Maybe you want to get out there and connect more emotionally with people and less superficially. Is that a word? I'm pretty sure it is. You may feel more motivated to take action and create positive change in your community. And community has different meanings for people, so that could be in your friendship group or actually out in your community. Here's a reflection question for you, Virgo risings. What community involvement or social causes are you passionate about pursuing, and how can you take bold action to create that positive change? I hope this helps you. Hi, Libra risings. This is happening in your 10th house, the house of, okay, brain. This is the house of public standing, your career, your legacy, how you look in the world. So here we go. Mars in Cancer brings heightened emotions to your career and your public image, of course, right? You may feel compelled to take bold action to assert yourself in your professional life. So Libras, take a stand for yourself. I know that you guys are very like kind of easygoing and can see both sides of the story and, you know, be so collaborative, but this is a time for you to really kind of stand in your power and assert yourself in your professional life. And so here's a reflection question for you. How can you assert yourself in your professional life and pursue your career goals that align with your values and your passions? And I think that's very important that you want to align both of those. I hope this has been helpful. Hi, Scorpio risings. This Mars in Cancer transit is happening in your ninth house, that ninth house of higher learning, knowledge, research, spirituality, and also foreign and abroad travel. So this Mars in Cancer transit is going to influence your beliefs and your spiritual pursuits. You may feel more motivated to take action and explore new paths of spiritual growth and self-discovery, especially something that is emotionally connected to you. So you really want to get deeper in tune with that during this transit. You might also want to travel to some watery place, honestly. Here's the reflection question for you. What spiritual practices or beliefs are you passionate about exploring? And I think passionate is the key word. We don't want to do anything that's superficial during this time. We want it to really come from an emotional well-being place. And how can you take bold action to deepen your spiritual growth? I don't know where my words are, honestly, but I hope this has been helpful. Hi, Sagittarius rising. This Mars in Cancer transit is going through the super sexy house of the 8th house. Sorry. It's going through your 8th house. That 8th house stands for or holds our shared resources, our inheritances. It can deal with like the occult and death, but definitely intimacy is the main focus of the 8th house. Shared resources and intimacy. So this Mars in Cancer transit is going to bring some passionate energy to your intimate relationships and shared resources. You may feel more assertive when it comes to intimate things or pursuing a deep connection and financial security. So having the conversations, really standing up for yourself and that dynamic. Here's a reflection question for you that I think will be super helpful. How can you deepen your intimate relationships and pursue financial goals that align with your passion and values? I think the key word is aligning to your passion and values. And if you don't have those, then it's definitely going to be hard aligning yourself with people of the same thought process, right? So let's get those down. Maybe do a little journaling around that area so you can make everything very clear and crisp for you. I hope this has been helpful. Hi, Capricorn rising. This Mars in Cancer transit is transiting your 7th house, that house of marriage, business, partnerships, contracts with other partnerships. So it doesn't necessarily have to be marriage, but I'm going to tell you it's probably going to do with that type of relationship. So this Mars in Cancer transit may bring up heightened emotions to your partnerships, especially your one-on-one relationships. You may feel more motivated to take action to create balance and harmony in your relationship. So this might really be having a conversation with your person about how things are working and how they're not working, so y'all can get on the same page and create some balance for forward movement together. Here is a reflection question for you all. How can you create balance and harmony in your partnerships? Remember, this can also be a business partnership and in your one-on-one relationships while still asserting your needs and boundaries. So please don't lose, I'm talking to a Capricorn rising, so y'all boundaries are pretty hardcore, speaking as a Capricorn sun. So just make sure they're in alignment. I hope this has been helpful. Hi, Aquarius risings. This is your Mars in Cancer transit. This is happening in your 6th house. Yes, it is. And, that 6th house is the house of pets, your daily schedule, your coworkers, your health, fitness, diet routines. And so when we look at Mars transiting the 6th house, we really want to think about our daily routines. So here we go. Mars in Cancer is really going to influence your daily routines and your health habits. You may feel more motivated to take action to prioritizing self-care and overall well-being. And what that looks like from me to you, is that you really want to take some time out for yourself to love on yourself, Aquarians. You now have Pluto sitting in your 1st house. You just got rid of Saturn. And so really this is an opportunity to reflect on all the emotions that have what's the word I'm looking for? The emotional roller coaster you've been on recreating a new you the last 2.5, 3 years. And so this might be finding a life coach, a therapist, someone that could help you work through that. But definitely self-care should be super important to you, definitely a priority, okay? So here's the reflection question. How can you prioritize self-care and overall well-being while also pursuing your daily routines and habits with your that align to your passions and values, okay? So how can they be complementary to each other? I hope this helps. Pisces rising. This is your Mars in Cancer transit report. Very quick and sweet, short and sweet. Mars in Cancer is transiting your 5th house. I think that is super sweet. I think it's fun. I think you can connect with your creativity in dating and children in a really profound way. So this is happening in your 5th house, the house of romance, the house of creativity, and the house of children. And so this transit is going to bring some I love the fieriness for you, to your creative pursuits and romantic life. If you've been feeling stagnant or it's just been feeling ho-hum, let's use this Mars energy to va-va-voom it. You may feel more confident and assertive in pursuing your passions and expressing your love. Oh my God, Pisces love. Just kidding. I try not to do any slander on Pisces, but sometimes y'all just make it too easy. Here's a reflection question. How can you use your creative passions and romantic pursuits to express your authentic self and pursue your deepest desires? And with Saturn now sitting in the 5th house, it's really going to ask you to be fucking for real. It's really going to say, like, this is what is good for me and this is not what's good for me. And it's going to really have you filtering out the bullshit and upgrading your creativity in your romantic life. And honestly, I think that's great for you. I hope this has been helpful.